You hear them? That overpass shook my house. I don't ever remember a helicopter shaking my house before. How did they not get tangled up in the trees? Our trees are pretty tall here. The natural ohias, they have red flowers on them. They're so beautiful. I wonder if any of them have red flowers right now. I have to really look. The red kind of stands out from the green, so I can see it kind of. That's a nice thing with macular degeneration and cataracts and glaucoma and all the shit you can get with your eyes. If some of them work even a little bit, you get to see something. And my macular degenerate, whatever that is, the focus is gone. Almost totally. I got just a tiny little bit of focus in my left eye. But my peripheral still works. So landscape is okay. It's kind of like, you can't focus on it. It's fuzzy. But it's like looking at the landscape through rain or something. It's okay. A little fall, a little bloom. Will they finally leave me alone, do you suppose? They're finally done harassing me. I'm all worn out. I don't know what to do. Maybe eat a piece of chocolate, pour a fresh cup of coffee, call up my girlfriend. I mean, and of course, while this is happening, my family's gone, right? Both of them are off doing something. So I don't have anybody to talk to or shout to but you guys. So, hey, you guys, here I am. Would you call this in peril? Well, now they appear to be gone. Like, well, are they finally done? And did they really hassle me, or will I find out 2-3 days a week from now that they really hassled somebody else and they were just close by? Or, it's really hard to get the news when you live that close to the bad guys because everybody's afraid to talk. So it's hard to find out who got arrested and what for and what happened to them afterward and who did they use for a lawyer and when did they go to court and did they take them off to Honolulu? I mean, this is what they do, pick up people and you take them off the island. Well, how can you go get somebody out of jail if they're not here anymore? It's as bad as getting ran around L.A. from city to city in a jail bus. My friend's mother was one time when they were trying to get their mother out of jail. And they hauled her around on a bus from one small town suburb around L.A. to another. And this kid was following this bus and his mother around, trying to catch up with him to get his mother out of jail. It was the funniest thing. That had to have been in the 60s. Boy, I tell you, it's been a long, long time trying to put up with this drug war and the other war and all the war. I mean, even the Second World War didn't last this long. It's just incredibly. Did the alcohol prohibition last this long? I mean, now the DEA has really learned how to sink their teeth into the money, and they're scraping it up real good. We have to find something else for the DEA to do to get them off our backs because they're afraid to let go of the money. You think about all the people involved in the drug trade. It would be really hard to put all the drugs, and I wish we would, legalize all the drugs and control them. If you got control over the drugs and you got control over the children, well, then you got a win-win situation because everybody says it's easier for a kid to get a joint than it is to get a beer. So obviously the control on alcohol is working for the kid. So it's a kid you want to stay out. When with this the way it is going now, that kid can go get a joint easier than he can get a beer. And even if he steals it out of his uncle's refrigerator, he'll take the joint before he takes the beer. So you got to rethink this whole thing, everybody. We think we need to change the laws, and we've got to do it right now. Look at that. They're still flying, wasting taxpayers' money, that's my money, threatening all kinds of people and animals, thrashing all kinds of plants. For what? For what? Marijuana doesn't kill, and it doesn't kill brain cells. That was the worst test they ever allowed out of. That was absolutely stupid. They killed those monkeys, and then they called it brain dead. They suffocated them. I mean, look at the whole test. Don't just go by the answers. Brain, no. Marijuana does not kill brain cells. You gotta research. You gotta, I mean, YouTube is loaded with medical information, marijuana information. Start listening to a cross-section of all of it. Listen to the pros and the cons, and then you can get a better picture of what's going on. But if you only listen to the people that agree with you, hello, you're in a void. I have to listen to everybody that doesn't agree with me because I got a cross-section of YouTube, and it's wonderful. They give me what they think, the young and the old, and I love it. Because if they want to comment, they can, but they don't interrupt me, and I can keep on talking like I've been doing today. Thank you, YouTube. I love you. I'm so glad you're here, and it's so wonderful to be able to do this, and I hope I get to do it the rest of my life. I hope they don't stop me from doing it because it sure does feel good. It's fun to know that somebody out there in the whole wide world is watching and listening. And a whole bunch of people could care less, and that's fine. And hey, oh, I gotta have a pipe full too. I don't need one of those big bongs. I'm happy with just a little pipe. You see it over here? My pipe and my ashtray, and my buzzer in here. That's great. You can see. And so I just need a little bit, probably. You know, you don't need much, so. But I don't need to make you watch me. I mean, that's cool. I'll hang up and then do it after I hang up so I can kick back a little bit and watch these to see what I did. This is the third one, right? And I think the helicopter's finally gone off and left me, and I don't hear anybody. Of course, it's hard to hear up at the gate. I'm 1,000 foot down the hill from my driveway. I mean, from from the road. But I'm sure they would just kill our gate coming in. They say they expect violence, so they're ready for violence. Well, you know that marijuana's not, and that's all. There's nobody violent around here or even in this neighborhood. Everybody's pretty passive. They're too afraid to be violent. So I don't know, but life is sure peculiar, huh? So I hope you can enjoy the rest of the day. Turn on some good marijuana music and have a good smoke out. It's March 16th, and now it's 20 minutes to 3, and we've had a great day being entertained by the helicopter. I suppose there could be a song about that, huh? Let me entertain you, I'm a helicopter of good speed. I got lots of noise, and I can come real low. I can kill your little fleas. It's got a rhyme, right? Well, okay, I'm out of here. Stay happy, and